Hey everyone, my name is Ashley for those of you who do not know me, and I'll be on here for the entire month of August sharing with you all words that I get daily, coupled with my thoughts behind them based off of knowledge and wisdom that I've learned along my journey, or experiences that I've experienced, or environments that I've been exposed to. So today, day 8, the word of the day is deficit. Now when I looked up this definition, it meant shortage, lack, too small for what you're trying to do. Girl, you ain't got enough. That's what I summed it up to be. And for so many years, I felt like I was living in a deficit. It was like I would do one thing and then something else would pop up, and now I gotta try and make up for that. And it was just like a continuous thing where I just got tired and was like, God, I feel like I just can't catch up. I can't get ahead. I'm doing the work. Like, what else do I gotta do, God? And maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I cried out to God and was like, God, I feel like I came into this world with a deficit. Like I experienced things that I shouldn't have experienced. Like I didn't have a childhood. I had to grow up fast because of what I experienced, because of my environment. I feel like I should have not seen things that I saw. I had stuff that I shouldn't have had, didn't have stuff, like all these different things that I identified as a deficit. And I realized that, or a while ago, God was just like, who told you that you are in a deficit? I was like, you right, God. Because if I'm partnered with the God of the entire universe, I have more than enough. If I am in Christ, I have everything that I need within me. And so it doesn't make sense that I claim to be in a deficit, to have had a deficit and still be in a deficit. Like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't line up with who I say I am. Oh my goodness. And I was just like, how did I start identifying with having a deficit? And I recognized it came from comparison, and it came from outward environments. And with the comparison, I recognized that I was comparing myself to other people, what they didn't have to go through, that I had to go through. And so that actually meant that I was in a deficit and they had more than enough. And then I realized if I were to compare myself to someone else, I actually look like the person with the advantage and they're the ones with the deficit. So it's all about perspective, right? So comparison out the window, bruh. Because if I'm partnered with God, He got me. He causes all things to work together for my good, right? He can accelerate things. He can redeem time. Like, what? How can I have a deficit with a God like that, right? And then the outward environments. How people spoke to me. I remember getting to a point where I was like, God, I am tired of people seeing me with the lens of a deficit. I'm tired of it. Tired. Done. Very passionate about this. And it was just like, I was tired of hearing people say like, oh, Ashley, if you were to have had a dad growing up to teach you these things or to do X, Y, and Z, you wouldn't be going through this. Oh, Ashley, I don't know why I sound like this or why they sound like this, but man, I was just like, might be true, might not. The point is, I'm in Christ, so I have more than enough. So what you're saying is not accurate. And I had to realize that God, because I felt like I had these deficits, God was just like, I've given you what you need to make up for what you think you didn't have. He's like, I've given you mentors to make up for, the type of mother that you felt that you needed, to teach you how to communicate, to teach you how to love a certain way, to teach you how to talk to a man. Like, whew, yeah. And I've given you mentors that have the dad aspect, that have taught you like how to love yourself, that have taught you that you are more than enough, that have loved on you, that have given you X, Y, and Z. I've given you brothers and sisters in Christ that build you up. Like, you have what you need. You're no longer in a deficit, Ashley, because you're with me. And when you're with me, you will not ever live in a deficit. You will always have more than enough. And so I just want to encourage whoever feels like they're in a deficit or they grew up in a deficit, like, if you partner with God, you will have more than enough. One thing that always sticks to me is that God knew what I had and what I didn't have, and he still chose me. He knew that I was silenced as a child because of traumas that I went through, and I didn't use my voice a lot, and he still chose me to be on here daily using my voice. He still chose me in other environments to use my voice. He knew what I had and what I didn't have, and he still chose me. He's giving me the tools. He's partnered me with the people that have taught me how to communicate. Again, super passionate. I really hope this blessed you guys. And remember that you can do all things through Christ.